going to do, I'm going to start out, this is the Wall, the #1 or the 1/2-inch snap-on comb. So these stainless steel snap-on combs, you want to make sure you use them under a 30 blade, 15 or 10. We prefer using them under a 30 blade. Otherwise, if you put them under a 40 blade, you're going to wind up breaking the teeth off. So I'm going to start out with the #1, and I'm going to come right here, right into the Adam's apple. I'm going to start my line. So just going to turn my clipper on low, start right at the Adam's apple. And this dog, it's not a drop-coated breed, but it has a lot of natural lay to the coat. So I want to make sure I go in the direction that the coat lays as much as possible. I don't want to cross-cut the coat, and I don't want to come in and reverse clip on this type of coat. So basically what I'm going to do with him is just make everything nice and even. He's just going to get a really short, easily maintainable trim, and then we're going to give him a cute little teddy bear head when we're done. So I'm going to pull the ear back. I'm going to start right at the base of the ear, or the underside of the ear. Make sure you hold the ear towards his head so you don't take a chance of cutting the dog.
Now Gigi, like so many breeds that come into our shops, he doesn't get the traditional Wheaton trim because his owners just do not have the time, or probably the energy, because he's got a lot of energy to really be able to maintain it. I mean, when you think about all the Shih Tzus that come in, very few of them are left with a long full coat. So this is just easier for them. They like this breed, but they can't maintain the long coat on him. And he actually has, he's got like two very different textures to his coat. He's got a lot of wire and a lot of soft. So this trim actually looks kind of nice on him because he ends up looking really pretty plush when he's all done.
Do you want to explain the standards of this trim, even though we're not doing the traditional trim on him, as far as what we would be looking for as if he were more to conformation than he is?
He's not. Well, Gigi he's a pet quality Wheaton. Wheatons are from Ireland, and in Europe they're actually like extremely natural looking. In Ireland there's almost no trimming done to them whatsoever. The very tapered, tailored kind of a trim that you see on the Wheatons today is kind of designed from the USA. Wouldn't you say, Jay?
Yes, definitely.
So what you want to do, and you know, we always say this when we do our seminars and everything. Years ago, a lot more coat was left on the dogs, especially the breed standard show, AKC, you know, show ring dogs. A lot more coat was left on them. And now what they're doing is they're really kind of tailoring them down to show more body structure. So on a Wheaton, he should have a nice level tail set. And when you're doing more of a traditional trim, as we're going to do in the following dogs, then you'll see what we would do if we wanted to kind of correct a bad tail set, give the dog a little bit more neck. Your Wheaton should be, like most of your terriers, very straight in the front, so you don't want to see a lot of bib. They don't have a leg that's set back under them like you would see on a poodle. And they do have a tuck up.
One thing, I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to make sure I explain what I'm doing. Once I get down to this area here, I kind of roll my clipper underneath. We know we're going to take all of this off because we're not going to leave a skirt or anything. We're going to make this short. So as you can see, I'm not coming straight down. If you come straight down and go all the way back this way, what's going to happen, you're going to start getting a lot of chop marks because the hair kind of grows at an angle here. So when I come down underneath the bottom of the dog, or the underline, I'm kind of going at an angle towards the back of the dog. That's going to help smooth it out. And another thing, when you're prepping this dog, once you get this dog ready to trim, one thing we don't want to do, and I see a lot of groomers do this, we don't want to comb all this hair up and cut it, because what's going to happen, once you comb it up and cut it, it's going to be shorter. And also, once the hair lays back down in the natural position, you're going to get a lot of chop marks in it. So never comb it up, you know, like you would a poodle. Basically, we would comb it, fluff it out, and just kind of pick at the hair and you know, shake it around, let it lay in the natural position, and then trim it that way. So
you want to treat it more like it's a drop-coated breed. So even though he does have a little bit of soft and his coat does stand out from his body a little bit, you want to treat it more like it's a drop-coated breed. And the reason being, like Jay just said, and he's actually the one that had showed me this, because I used to fluff against the grain, and I used to backcomb when I was using my snap-ons, and then I'd have to take out my thinning shears and I'd have to do a lot of neatening up and fixing. And the reason why is because I was lifting that hair in an unnatural way, and then when I took my snap-on comb and went down over the coat, once that coat kind of relaxes and lays down, the way that you've cut it ends up making it look very choppy. So you want to blow dry him the way you want the coat to grow. You want to comb him the way the coat would naturally lie, and you'll find that you get a much nicer, neater, softer look without having to go back over and do a lot of thinning shear erasing work.